Ukraine and the United States reached an economic deal that would include the exploitation of Ukraine's minerals, that is according to several senior Ukrainian officials. One of the officials said they hoped the deal would improve ties between Kyiv and Washington and that it would ensure long-term support from the US. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky reportedly will travel to the United States to meet with US President Donald Trump. One of the officials said the deal could be signed as early as Friday.
I hear that he's coming on Friday. Certainly it's okay with me if he'd like to, and he would like to sign it together with me, and I understand that's a big deal.
It is not the first time that a deal as such got presented to Ukraine. The US had previously presented an offer that would allow them to access Ukraine's minerals in return for continued support. Zelensky had, however, turned down this proposal as it did not offer enough security guarantees for Ukraine. Ukrainian officials told the Financial Times that while this deal did not state explicit security guarantees either, its offer was far more favorable.
The first step towards a possible deal, but not the deal yet. On Wednesday, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky commented on the possible agreement on rare earth with the United States, saying it is just a start, a framework which can be a big success. He insisted once again that one of the key aspects for Kyiv is the continuation of the US aid for Ukraine and, most importantly, security guarantees for Kyiv. Zelensky said that he will be pushing for those security guarantees for Ukraine tied to any possible future agreement, but it is believed that this can only be discussed during the in-person meeting between President Zelensky and President Trump. Sasha Vakulina from Kyiv for Euronews.
Former presidential election candidate Calin Georgescu has been detained after he was stopped in traffic and taken to the General Prosecutor's office for questioning. The ultra-nationalist politician was indicted on 6 counts. These include anti-constitutional acts and misreporting his finances. The charges also revolve around his support for sympathizers of the Iron Guard, a pre-World War II fascist and anti-Semitic movement and political party.
Este o activitate dispusă, iar noi trebuie să punem în aplicare.
Uitați la mine, e sigur?
Da. Sunt foarte sigur. Sunteți un cetățean al României și eu trebuie să aplic legea.
Georgescu's team accused the system of preventing him from filing his new presidential candidacy. The Central Electoral Bureau, however, denies this. BEC representatives told Euronews that candidates for the presidential elections in May cannot yet be registered.
The criminal charges brought against Calin Georgescu have left Romania's society stunned, with a huge emotional response coming both from his opponents and his supporters, and at the same time underlying just how polarized Romania's society is right now around this subject. We've seen protests right here in front of the General Prosecutor's office. We've seen over 100 people gathered in here, though it is worth noting that there are no official estimates as far as the number of protesters goes, so all we can just rely on is the footage we've managed to film from a height. Now we're looking at what political leaders are saying about all of this. We've seen the mainstream political leaders make a call for calm and also underlying the independence of the Romanian judicial system. They are insisting to let the investigation run its course, but it is also worth noting that some other political leaders, particularly those that are labeled as nationalists, have portrayed this investigation as a tool to keep Calin Georgescu from running again. And now the question remains, what's next?
Friedrich Merz, Germany's incoming chancellor, is set to meet with French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris on Wednesday evening for unofficial talks. This information was confirmed to us by the Élysée Palace after German media first reported about this dinner earlier on Wednesday. The two leaders are expected to discuss Macron's recent trip to the US, where he met President Donald Trump, and the goal is to come up with a united response to the lightning-rapid rapprochement between the U.S. and Russia. The American president launched a series of threats against the 27 bloc earlier on Wednesday, promising to slap tariffs up to 25% on EU goods, which will also likely fuel the discussions at the Elysee Palace on Wednesday evening. Wednesday's dinner marks Friedrich Merz's first international visit since his party won the German elections on Sunday, signaling a new era for the Franco-German partnership after years of tensions between Macron and outgoing Chancellor Olaf Scholz.
As the dust from Sunday's elections settle in Germany, the new government is facing an uphill battle. Germany's top three concerns for this election were European peace and security, the economy and social issues. However, CDU leader Friedrich Merz has also placed emphasis on migration. Policy expert Raphael Loss says geopolitical issues will be amongst Merz's top priorities.
Sind in den vergangenen Jahren aber auch von der Kanzlerschaft Olaf Scholz zum Beispiel die Beziehungen zu Frankreich und Polen an neuen Tiefpunkten angelangt. Und da ist das Potenzial, dass diese Wahl entfaltet, sicherlich das mit einem Kanzler Friedrich Merz, sollte er denn eine regierungsfähige Mehrheit hinter sich versammeln können, ein Reset in diesen doch sehr wichtigen Beziehungen stattfinden wird und dass damit auch ein neuer Impuls für Europapolitik aus Berlin kommen kann. Das ist nicht notwendigerweise eine EU-zentrierte Politik. In vielen Fällen wird es sich um Koalitionen der Willigen handeln, die Friedrich Merz versuchen wird zu bilden. Aber nichtsdestotrotz sind, glaube ich, die geopolitischen Herausforderungen, mit denen wir uns mit Blick auf Moskau, Washington, aber auch Beijing perspektivisch auseinandersetzen müssen, so dass wir tatsächlich an allen Fronten sehr viel mehr machen müssen.
Whilst Merz is promising a stronger and more stable government, questions surrounding financing increased defence spending and resolving social issues are likely to dominate Germany for the next few months.
Hier kann Schwarz-Rot sicherlich Stabilität produzieren. Darüber hinaus wird sich aber vieles entspinnen entlang der Fragen, wie lässt sich eine Zweidrittelmehrheit im Bundestag produzieren, um gegebenenfalls Verfassungsänderungen für ein neues Sondervermögen, für eine Reform der Schuldenbremse, für eine Wiedereinführung der Wehrpflicht unter neuem Modell gesucht werden müssen. Und hier braucht eine schwarz-rote Koalition ganz dringend die Zusammenarbeit sowohl der Grünen, hier sehe ich weniger Probleme, aber auch die Zusammenarbeit der Linken, die an einigen außenpolitischen Fragen doch sehr grundsätzlich anderer Meinung ist als die anderen demokratischen Parteien der Mitte.
Liv Stroud in Berlin für Euronews.
Вони постійно роблять спроби прорвати фронт. Це активні тут бойові дії зараз ідуть.
Shooting orders are very frequent. It's the fourth time in a row within a few minutes. So we just arrived in Pokrovsk and you can hear the outgoing shelling.
Скажіть, бажання покинути город є?
Нема куди.
А що, підкажіть?
Нема куди.
Так є куди. Є пропозиції по селах.
Могилки моих веков, я не буду никуда приезжать.
Груз выезжает наверх.
Я стараюсь помочь и самой себе, и стране, и поэтому виходить, в мене все виходить.
Да, они сидят, а потом...
Во-первых, движет мной, наверное, большая любовь к детям, к искусству и, наверное, вера, лучшая вера в нашу победу, мир наш. Вот.
Archaeologists in Pompeii have uncovered rare frescoes that offer fresh insight into religious practices in the ancient city before it was destroyed. The discovery features a life-scale frieze that spans 3 walls of a banquet hall, presenting vivid imagery of the mysteries of Dionysus. These were the initiation rituals for the followers of Dionysus, the ancient Greek god of wine, fertility, theatre and religious ecstasy, promising spiritual enlightenment and possibly a blessed afterlife. Pompeii was an ancient Roman city near modern-day Naples in Italy. It was famously destroyed and buried under volcanic ash and pumice when nearby Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD. Due to the ash, it is one of the most well-preserved historical sites in the world.